Young and the Restless next week. Kane's furious outburst and Ian's confirmed return to Genoa City. Let's start with Kane Ashby. At the end of this week, he gets a visit from Billy Abbott Jason Thompson, who's worried about Jill Abbott Jess Walton's failing heart. That's when Kane Ashby told Billy Abbott that the contracts are being written for him to take control of Chancellor. As of now, it looks like Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, have the bulk of Newman Enterprises under their control. It's official. What's wild to me in this is how Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and the others are all playing victim and acting like they did something unprecedented and awful when Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, literally did this exact same thing to Kane Ashby 6 weeks ago. This is a page straight from the Mustaches playbook. Victor Newman had a huge butt-kicking coming from karma. And the things he's done to Phyllis Summers are absolutely disgusting. I know she's unhinged. But in a way, I think he is a big part of the reason she is. Victor Newman put a stranger in her bed. A lot of soap fans call that flat out having Phyllis Summers raped. So maybe some people feel bad for Victor Newman. I don't. Plus, I'm certain that he's going to bounce back just fine and rebuild his company stronger and better than ever. Victor Newman will come out of this fine. Kane Ashby and Billy Abbott conflict over Chancellor's future on Young and the Restless. For now, though, Kane Ashby is in control and things are going great for them. He's a little upset to hear from Billy Abbott that Jill Abbott's heart is getting weaker and that she can barely breathe. Billy Abbott also tells Kane Ashby that he doesn't want him to tell Jill Abbott what's going on with Newman Enterprises and Chancellor because that will upset her and it could worsen her health situation. Kane Ashby and Billy Abbott debate how Jill Abbott would react to what Kane Ashby has done. In the end, Billy Abbott asks Kane Ashby to hold off on the press release that reveals Billy Abbott as the new CEO of Chancellor. Kane Ashby agrees to go ahead and hold back on that. They talk about how Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, has issues with Billy Abbott taking Chancellor from him. Then Kane Ashby talks about dealing with him and Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, and that's over and done. And he should have known better than to even try to make it happen. When Billy Abbott jokes that Kane Ashby won't be alone because he'll have Phyllis Summers, Kane Ashby makes it clear that is not love. That's sex and business, but not affection. Lily Winters and the twins go missing in a dangerous game. Things take a huge turn next week regarding Lily Winters and Kane Ashby because he gets word that Lily Winters and the twins are missing. Kane Ashby goes and confronts Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, about it. And Kane Ashby is accusing Adam Newman of knowing that Victor Newman took Lily Winters and the twins. But Adam Newman claps back that he is not his father's keeper. Kane Ashby says that Adam Newman and Victor Newman are playing some sort of sick game. We know that Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, is okay with Victor Newman doing this. But I kind of suspect that Victor Newman and Adam Newman don't really kidnap Lily Winters and the twins. I think that Victor Newman might have talked Lily Winters into playing along and pretending to be kidnapped in hopes that it'll get Kane Ashby to stop what he's doing. Young and the Restless, Kane rages. Kane Ashby is angry that his family has been threatened in this way. But even if Kane Ashby stops the AI from attacking Victor Newman's company, it's pretty much a done deal. I could see Phyllis Summers finding a way to keep things going even if Kane Ashby wants to take a step back because of this. Bottom line, Phyllis Summers isn't going to be sympathetic at all about Lily Winters being supposedly snatched. And she may even tell Kane Ashby that this is Victor Newman bluffing. Mariah Copeland snatches Dominic Chancellor amidst a mental health spiral. Now let's talk about Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes. At the end of this week, Devin Hamilton, Brighton James, and Abby Newman, Melissa Ordway, are frantic because Dominic Chancellor, River and Rain Ware, has been missing overnight. When Devin Hamilton and Abby Newman checked the surveillance camera, they noticed that Dominic Chancellor wasn't afraid of the person that took him. They can't see that person, but they know that he's not scared. Devin Hamilton and Abby Newman think it's someone they know. Then at Crimson Lights, they run into Tessa Porter and Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziade. We'll see Abby Newman and Devin Hamilton tell them that Dominic Chancellor was taken. And they show them the scarf that was dropped outside the house. Tessa Porter is immediately horrified. She knows that scarf belongs to Mariah Copeland. It's a custom-made, one-of-a-kind piece that Tessa Porter got for Mariah Copeland a couple of years ago. There's no doubt in her mind. That leaves Devin Hamilton wondering why Mariah would take their son, Dominic Chancellor. Abby Newman tries to call Mariah Copeland. But of course she doesn't answer. Tessa Porter explains to Abby Newman and Devin Hamilton that Mariah Copeland has been in this spiral for a while, checked herself out of a mental health facility in Boston and has basically disappeared. They wonder if there's some other way that would explain Mariah Copeland's scarf being there. But Abby Newman thinks it's quite clear that Mariah Copeland did this and took Dominic Chancellor. Police search for Mariah Copeland and the shocking return of Ian Ward. The cops call to tell Abby Newman and Devin Hamilton that a boy matching Dominic Chancellor's description was seen at a motel with somebody. They take off and meet the cops. Meanwhile, Mariah Copeland loads Dominic Chancellor in her car to take off again, but accidentally drops one of his gloves. Mariah Copeland is crying in the car, kind of freaking out Dominic Chancellor. But she lies to him to calm him down. Devin Hamilton and Abby Newman confirm to the cops that, yes, that's Dominic Chancellor's mitten. And they see Mariah Copeland with Dominic Chancellor on security footage. Abby Newman also calls to let Victor Newman know that Mariah Copeland snatched Dominic Chancellor, and the police are busy searching for them. Tessa Porter is horrified and she asks Daniel Romalotti, what could Mariah Copeland be thinking? Next week on Young and the Restless, spoilers have Tessa Porter telling Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, what happened and says they are not dealing with the Mariah Copeland they know and love. Tessa Porter says that Mariah Copeland has changed and tells Sharon Newman that what Mariah Copeland is doing right now scares the hell out of her. Young and the Restless, Ian guides Mariah. Meanwhile, Ian Ward is in the car with Mariah Copeland, and he's telling her she knows what needs to be done. Ian Ward tells Mariah Copeland next week to keep her eye on the prize. But then from the back seat, Dominic Chancellor says, Papa, what the heck? All along, we've been presented with the notion that Ian Ward was a hallucination in Mariah Copeland's brain. Is Ian Ward really in the car with them? Is that who Dominic Chancellor is talking about when he says, Papa? We all know that Ian Ward is really alive, but nobody in Genoa City knows it. We may get a huge shocker next week if it turns out Mariah is hanging out with the real, not dead Ian Ward,
is on the
and
brink
she's not
of
chaos as
him.
next week's episodes of The Young and the Restless promise a whirlwind of drama, shocking confrontations, and the kind of twists only this soap opera can deliver. Fans are buzzing over Kane Ashby's fiery temper reaching new heights and the long-anticipated return of Ian Ward, whose presence in Genoa City is guaranteed to shake more than a few foundations. Here's a deep dive into what you can expect in the coming week. Kane Ashby explodes in a fury. The calm before the storm is officially over for Kane Ashby. For months, viewers have watched him navigate tense personal and professional waters, balancing his commitments at Newman Enterprises with his loyalty to his family and friends. However, next week, Kane's simmering frustrations reach a boiling point. Insider spoilers reveal that Kane will unleash a furious outburst that leaves both allies and enemies stunned. The catalyst for Kane's rage appears to be tied to yet another betrayal in the Newman clan. Kane has always tried to be the voice of reason, the one who mediates conflicts and keeps the peace. But with tensions running high, especially as Victor Newman continues his relentless scheming, Kane's patience is finally worn thin. This outburst is reportedly a mix of anger, frustration, and pent-up fear for the people he loves, making it one of the most explosive moments in recent YandR history. Fans can expect Kane to confront someone close to him with words that cut deep. This isn't Kane's typical calm, rational self. We're talking about a man who has had enough of being pushed around, deceived, and manipulated. Rumor has it that this confrontation might even take place in a high-stakes setting at Newman Enterprises, which could have lasting repercussions for the Ashby family. The showdown is expected to include both verbal fireworks and intense emotional drama, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. The fallout from Kane's anger. Kane's outburst isn't happening in isolation. The consequences of his explosive behavior will ripple throughout Genoa City. Loyal fans know that when Kane gets fired up, it often triggers a chain reaction affecting multiple characters and storylines. Some insiders hint that Kane's confrontation could push a key character to make a drastic decision, possibly leaving Genoa City entirely or making a move that will change alliances forever. Additionally, Kane's anger is likely to put strain on his marriage. His relationship dynamics, especially with Lily, have been tested numerous times in the past. With Kane on edge, Lily may feel the pressure of being caught in the middle, trying to mediate between Kane's wrath and the ongoing drama in the Newman world. Could this lead to a temporary rift or spark a series of emotional confrontations that will have fans glued to their screens? All signs point to yes. Ian Ward's shocking return. If Kane's fury wasn't enough to keep fans talking, the confirmed return of Ian Ward is about to escalate the drama even further. Ian, the wealthy and enigmatic figure whose past in Genoa City has left a trail of chaos, is stepping back into town at precisely the wrong time. Sources confirm that Ian's return is not just a cameo or a fleeting visit. He's back with intentions that could upend multiple storylines. Ian Ward has always been a master manipulator, using charm and calculated tactics to achieve his goals. His return suggests that he has unfinished business in Genoa City, and viewers should brace themselves for a series of schemes, secret agendas, and perhaps even shocking alliances. Ian's history with key characters, particularly those in the Newman and Abbott circles, makes his return a powder keg waiting to explode. Ian versus Kane, sparks will fly. One of the most anticipated storylines for the upcoming week is the inevitable clash between Kane and Ian. These two strong personalities are bound to collide, given Kane's current emotional state and Ian's penchant for stirring trouble. The tension between them is expected to be palpable, with Ian potentially pushing Kane's buttons and Kane responding with the kind of explosive fury that has fans buzzing online. Insiders suggest that Ian may have a hidden agenda that directly threatens Kane's family or business interests. Whether it's a new scheme to take over a stake in Newman Enterprises or a personal vendetta targeting someone Kane loves, the interaction between these two men is set to be intense. Fans should expect heated verbal sparring, psychological games, and perhaps even a physical confrontation. Though as with any soap, it's the emotional stakes that will really keep viewers riveted. Shocking twists for Genoa City residents. The next week in The Young and the Restless isn't just about Kane and Ian. Other Genoa City residents are poised for shocking developments that will tie into the larger storylines. Rumors are swirling that secrets long thought buried could come to light, altering relationships and power dynamics across town. With Ian back and Kane on edge, it seems certain that some characters will find themselves in situations they never anticipated. One storyline reportedly involves a major business deal gone wrong, with Kane caught in the middle of corporate intrigue. Newman Enterprises has been a hotspot for drama, and with Ian's involvement, the stakes are higher than ever. Will Kane be able to navigate the treacherous waters, or will he be blindsided by Ian's cunning tactics? Emotional highs and heartbreaking lows. Next week promises to be emotionally charged, with moments that will tug at viewers' heartstrings. Kane's anger isn't just about business or betrayal. It's deeply personal, touching on themes of loyalty, trust, and family. Audiences can expect heart-wrenching confrontations that expose vulnerability beneath Kane's tough exterior. These emotional highs and lows will not only deepen character development, but also reinforce why fans have remained devoted to Kane's journey over the years. Similarly, Ian's return carries emotional weight. Characters with past histories involving Ian, whether romantic entanglements, business disputes, or old grudges, will have to confront unresolved issues. The presence of such a polarizing figure guarantees tension, moral dilemmas, and dramatic reveals that will leave viewers discussing the show long after the credits roll. What fans are saying? Social media has been buzzing since the news broke about Ian's return and Kane's impending outburst. Fans have taken to platforms like Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram to speculate about how these storylines will unfold. Some are predicting that Ian could manipulate events to turn Kane against his allies, while others are more focused on the personal toll Kane's anger could have on his relationships. The excitement is palpable, with fan theories ranging from shocking betrayals to unexpected reconciliations. The online conversation also highlights how invested viewers are in the emotional arcs of these characters. Kane's humanity, his struggles, and his moments of moral conflict resonate with audiences, making his storyline particularly compelling. Meanwhile, Ian's return taps into the classic YandR appeal of unpredictability, suspense, and high-stakes drama. What to watch for? Here's a breakdown of what to keep an eye on in the coming week. Kane's confrontation. Expect Kane to finally lash out, expressing his frustration in a way that will reverberate throughout the show. The target of his fury remains under wraps,
Genoa City is
but
about
the
to
impact
witness
will
a
be
corporate
significant.
war like never before.
The simmering tension between Kane Ashby and Billy Abbott has reached a boiling point, and the future of Chancellor Industries hangs in the balance. Fans of The Young and the Restless are in for a roller coaster of corporate espionage, family loyalties, and heart-pounding confrontations that could change the power dynamics in Genoa City forever. It all began with Kane Ashby, the ever-pragmatic and loyal Ashby-Chancellor hybrid, taking a keen interest in the long-term vision for Chancellor Industries. After months of quiet strategizing and behind-the-scenes maneuvers, Kane presented a bold proposal to the board, restructuring the company to focus on sustainability, tech innovation, and revitalized branding that could secure Chancellor's relevance in an ever-competitive market. However, Kane's vision wasn't met with unanimous approval. Enter Billy Abbott, the passionate, sometimes impulsive scion of the Abbott family, who has long had his eyes set on Chancellor Industries, not just as a business, but as a stage to prove himself as a legitimate force in Genoa City's corporate world. Billy's approach is aggressive and results-driven, believing that short-term gains and high-profile acquisitions are the quickest way to assert control and prestige. What could have been a productive business debate quickly spiraled into a personal feud. In a dramatic boardroom clash, Kane and Billy traded barbed comments over strategy, trust, and leadership capabilities. Kane, with his calm and calculated demeanor, accused Billy of being reckless and self-serving, arguing that impulsive decisions could jeopardize not only the company but the legacy of the Chancellor family itself. Billy, never one to back down, shot back, claiming that Kane was stuck in the past and afraid to take risks that could catapult Chancellor Industries to the top. The tension between the two men didn't stop at the boardroom. Outside the corporate walls, both Kane and Billy have pulled in allies, further intensifying the struggle for control. Kane has quietly rallied support from key executives, relying on loyalty and experience to buttress his position. Meanwhile, Billy has leveraged his charisma and Abbott family connections, emphasizing aggressive growth strategies and a high-stakes approach to leadership that appeals to younger shareholders hungry for fast results. Fans of YandR are already speculating on how this battle could ripple into personal relationships. Kane, ever mindful of family and legacy, is caught in a delicate dance, balancing his loyalty to the Chancellor name with his desire to implement meaningful change. Meanwhile, Billy's pursuit of power could strain his already complicated relationships with family members, including his father, Jack Abbott, who has historically valued stability and prudence over recklessness. One particularly explosive scene that has fans talking took place during a shareholders' meeting that was meant to be a routine update, but turned into a battleground. Kane presented detailed projections and carefully crafted strategies, outlining how Chancellor could expand into new markets and solidify its reputation as a forward-thinking industry leader. Billy, however, took center stage with a blistering counter-presentation, highlighting aggressive acquisitions and controversial maneuvers that could potentially double the company's profits, if they didn't backfire spectacularly. The tension escalated when Kane called out Billy in front of the board, accusing him of trying to hijack the company for personal gain rather than acting in the best interest of Chancellor Industries. Billy didn't hesitate to retaliate, suggesting that Kane was afraid to make bold decisions because he lacked the guts to lead under pressure. The clash ended with both men storming out of the room, leaving a board divided and shareholders anxious about what would happen next. Adding fuel to the fire is the shadow of past betrayals and business failures. Kane has endured a tumultuous history with corporate machinations, making him wary of sudden, aggressive tactics. Billy, on the other hand, has his own baggage, missteps in both business and personal life that have earned him a reputation for impulsiveness. The collision of their approaches, pragmatism versus ambition, caution versus risk, has created a perfect storm. Social media has exploded with fan reactions. Clips of Kane's calm but cutting remarks have gone viral, with viewers praising his articulate defense of the company's legacy. Meanwhile, Billy's fiery presentation style has drawn a mix of admiration and criticism, with some fans cheering his boldness and others warning that his tactics could lead to disaster. Hashtags like #Kane vs. Billy and #Chancellor Showdown are trending, and forums are buzzing with theories about who will ultimately control the company. But the intrigue doesn't end with corporate strategy. Personal stakes are high too. Kane's marriage and family responsibilities weigh heavily on his decisions. He's determined to protect not only the company, but also the people who rely on it, including loyal employees and the next generation of Chancellor heirs. Billy, however, seems laser-focused on proving his capabilities, even if it means burning bridges along the way. The clash of their priorities makes their conflict resonate on a deeper level for viewers, blending professional stakes with emotional drama. Sources close to the set hint that the rivalry may escalate even further. Insider reports suggest secret meetings, corporate espionage, and possible alliances with unexpected players from Genoa City's elite. Could Nicky Newman or Victor Newman get involved? Or will the Abbott family line their allegiances behind Billy to counter Kane's strategic maneuvers? Every move, every alliance, and every revelation could tip the balance in this high-stakes struggle for Chancellor Industries. Adding complexity to the saga is Kane's history of loyalty versus ambition. Known for his steady hand and rational mind, Kane often puts family and legacy first. This time, however, he may need to take risks he's never taken before to outmaneuver Billy. Conversely, Billy's drive to prove himself as a capable leader may blind him to the consequences of his actions, leading to explosive fallout both inside and outside the boardroom. Fans are particularly intrigued by the potential fallout for corporate culture at Chancellor Industries. Kane's measured, strategic approach emphasizes ethical leadership, long-term sustainability, and employee loyalty. Billy's approach, meanwhile, is high-octane and results-driven, prioritizing profitability and aggressive expansion. The clash of philosophies is more than just a personal feud, it's a battle for the soul of the company. Which vision will ultimately shape Chancellor Industries' future? Kane's careful stewardship or Billy's bold, high-stakes gambit? As the drama unfolds, other characters are poised to be caught in the crossfire. Lily Winters, Devon Hamilton, and Victoria Newman may find themselves navigating the fallout, trying to mediate between loyalty, friendship, and business acumen. Alliances are fragile, and in Genoa City, corporate disputes often have personal consequences, threatening friendships, family bonds, and romantic relationships whispers and tension as the latest shocking drama began to unfold. No one expected the heart-stopping nightmare that would soon grip the Winters family and everyone connected to them. Lily Winters, usually the epitome of strength and grace, was about to face the most terrifying ordeal of her life. And it all began with an innocent evening that turned into chaos. It was late in the afternoon when Lily had just finished picking up her twins from school. Charlie and Maddie, bright-eyed and energetic, were chattering away about their day, recounting their lessons and playground adventures. Lily, juggling her work at Chancellor Communications and her role as a mother, was grateful for these fleeting moments of normalcy. But as she buckled the twins into their car seats, she felt an unsettling sense of being watched, something that gnawed at her instinct but that she couldn't immediately put her finger on. "Mommy, can we stop at the park for a little bit?" Charlie asked, tugging at her sleeve. Lily glanced at the clock. There was just enough time for a quick swing around the playground before dinner. "Just for a few minutes, okay? But we have to be careful, all right?" she said, masking the vague unease that had started to creep into her thoughts. As they drove to the nearby park, Lily's phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. "She loves her kids. Let's see how much she loves them when they're gone." Lily froze, gripping the steering wheel tightly. Her heart pounded in her chest. She knew immediately this was no ordinary prank. The message was ominous, chillingly precise. Someone knew exactly who she was. And they were daring her. Before she could react, a dark SUV slowly rolled up beside her car at a red light. The tinted windows obscured the occupants, but the menacing aura was undeniable. Lily's instincts screamed at her to drive, but before she could, the SUV accelerated alongside them, blocking the way. In the next instant, masked figures leaped out. Lily screamed, twisting the wheel, but the SUV forced her off the road into a secluded alley. The chaos was a blur, a tussle, a hand grabbing her arm, the twins crying out. In moments that felt like hours, Lily found herself dragged from the car, helpless as the masked men whisked the twins away. By the time she regained control of her senses, the SUV and its sinister cargo had vanished. Lily was left standing in the middle of the alley, her arms trembling, heart racing, and mind spinning with questions. Who could do this? And why? The first person she called was Kane Ashby. Kane, ever the protector, dropped everything and rushed to her side. His face darkened as he listened to her recount the horrifying sequence. "Lily, stay here. I'm calling the police, but I'm also going to get them back. I promise you, no one messes with your kids and gets away with it." While the police launched an immediate investigation, Kane and Lily began retracing their steps. It quickly became evident that this was not a random kidnapping. The abductors knew Lily's routine, knew her children's names, and had even studied her reactions. Someone had been watching them for weeks, maybe longer. Meanwhile, inside a dimly lit warehouse on the outskirts of the city, Charlie and Maddie were huddled together, terrified but unharmed, for now. The masked figures removed their hoods, revealing themselves to be professionals hired for this sinister plot. One of them, a man with a cold, calculating gaze, spoke to the children with an unnerving calmness. "Don't worry," he said, though his tone did nothing to reassure them. "Your mommy will play the game, or Well, let's just say things won't go so well. The twins, sensing the danger, clung to each other. Charlie, brave beyond his years, whispered to his sister, "We just have to stay together. Mommy will find us." Back in Genoa City, the tension was reaching a fever pitch. Kane had called in old allies, Devin Hamilton, who had his own past experience with being targeted, and Chance Chancellor, whose knowledge of law enforcement tactics proved invaluable. Together, they began piecing together the puzzle. Clues were scarce, but a grainy security camera image from a gas station suggested the SUV had been parked near a warehouse district. As Kane, Devin, and Chance arrived at the warehouse district, Lily refused to stay behind. "I'm not leaving my children with these monsters. I'm going in." Her voice trembled, but her determination was palpable. Kane tried to argue, but Lily's resolve was ironclad. Together, they approached the building with caution, mapping out potential entry points. Inside, tension mounted as the kidnappers watched monitors showing the progress of Kane and Lily. Their plan was diabolical. A psychological game meant to break Lily down emotionally to see if she would comply with their demands. They sent another text to Lily's phone. "Solve the puzzle, or you never see them again. Step 1. Find the key in the place where your heart feels at home." Lily's mind raced. "The place where my heart feels at home? That must be my office. Chancellor Communications," she muttered. Kane raised an eyebrow but didn't argue. The urgency of the moment left no room for debate. They raced back to the office, searching for anything that could be a key. Hidden within a hollowed-out book in her office library, Lily found a small USB drive. Plugging it into her laptop revealed a video. The twins, safe but blindfolded, and a masked figure holding a note. One wrong move and the game is over. Follow instructions carefully. The instructions led Lily and Kane through a series of challenges, each more dangerous than the last. From deciphering cryptic riddles to navigating traps set in abandoned buildings, every step tested their intellect, courage, and emotional endurance. And with every passing minute, the kidnappers monitored their every move. But the strength of a mother's love is unparalleled. Lily's connection to her children fueled her courage. Even when Kane's calculated strategies suggested retreat, Lily pushed forward, refusing to give in to fear. "We can't wait. Every second counts," she insisted. As the night wore on, they finally reached the final location, a hidden room beneath the city's old train tunnels. Kane cautiously opened the door, signaling Lily to stay back. Inside, the twins were there, huddled together, but the kidnappers were ready to strike. In a tense confrontation, Kane and Lily worked together seamlessly. Kane, using his strength and strategic mind, incapacitated the kidnappers one by one, while Lily comforted the twins and guided them to safety. The final moment was a blur of adrenaline, a struggle, a few sharp commands, and finally silence. The danger had passed. Outside, the first rays of dawn painted the sky in hues of pink and gold. Lily hugged Charlie and Maddie tightly, tears streaming down her face. "I thought I lost you," she whispered, holding them close. The twins clung to her, their small arms wrapped around their mother, finding solace in her warmth and protection. Kane stood beside them, his expression a mix of relief and lingering concern. "It's over, Lily. They're safe. You're safe." But even as they returned home, questions lingered. Who had orchestrated this terrifying game? Why had they targeted the Winters family? And would this nightmare truly be behind them?